Welcome to a special edition of the Team Builder Show, specifically the Shifting Market Show. To help us do it, I've got the Stephanie Younger in the house from Los Angeles, Compass Real Estate, $403 million in volume last year. Monster year, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Steph, for the people that don't know you, what part of LA do you serve or you and your team serve? And then let's unpack the size of your team. And then let's get into what are the changes, the plays that you're running with your team to crush in this market.
Sure. So I'm primarily in the Silicon Beach, sort of West Los Angeles market, but I think we sold in over 60 zip codes last year.
Yep. We
have a really strong geographic farm, but we are pretty widespread around the west side of Los Angeles. So I would say it's like Malibu to Palos Verdes and, Beverly Hills to the west primarily.
Right. And a lot of that, is it driven by reputation? Is it driven by lead flow? Like how does, like, is it Zillow? Is it Realtor? Is it open houses? What drives a lot of the 60 different zip codes?
Right. Well, my listing focus is really our geographic farm, which ends up being Westchester, Playa del Rey, Playa Vista, Marina del Rey, like right there on the Silicon Beach market.
Yep.
And as our people, we have more and more transactions. I've been now in real estate for 20 years. This is my 20th year.
Yep.
Our clients are moving different places across the city. And then we're also, taking leads across the city. So, we really do try to be specialists.
Yes.
Our team is a team of specialists.
Yes.
But, in a certain radius, we will go beyond our area of our area of specialty.
Yeah. So break down the size of the team that you and Jeff are running today. Like how many salespeople versus marketing people versus admins? Then we're going to get into like the adjustments and changes.
Got it. So Jeff is my business partner. He started as my operations manager and became my business partner in 2021. So I'm super happy about that. Hi,
Congrats.
Jeff.
And former attorney, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Attorney.
A little litigious and smart. And like
smart.
Just fantastic.
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah.
Very dry.
Yeah. I was
dry sense of humor,
dry.
but funny.
Yeah.
And we have 24 buyers agent salespeople, and we have 4 listing agents. I'd put myself in that category for now.
Yes.
And then we have 12 staff people.
So that's a big sales team.
Big sales team.
So as we film this today, it is July 1st. Happy first day of the next recession.
Congratulations. Happy Recession Day, everybody.
Happy Recession Day. Exactly. So we've had this. Here we are. But the market's been adjusting for a while now. And in this shifting market conversation, when we were texting about this show, I said, Steph, I'd really like to come on and just have you talk about even some of the subtle adjustments.
Right.
We're still writing offers. We're still being crazy, but we're writing different offers now. So maybe like globally and then tactically, what are some of the adjustments you're asking as a play caller your team to make today?
Well, I guess maybe one thing I would say is that I've always been a team where we're not really reliant on online leads or like the immediate buyer. We've been very much a geographic farmer.
Yep.
We're community driven. We're relationship driven. And so the good news on that front is that we're not having to make any hardcore pivot. We're already there.
Right.
So we're just looking at how do we triple down on what we're doing. I think we doubled down in 2020.
Yep.
And we're tripling down now.
Yeah.
And I feel grateful that we've been able to afford to do that and that we were smart enough to do that we were brave enough to do that. I think a lot of people pulled back when we were just leaning forward.
Yes.
That's stressful. And I'm not worried about a recession. Like I say, bring it on.
Right.
I don't really want that, but bring it on.
Right.
We're ready and we're ready to tackle it. So in terms of changes, I think the very first thing is helping our agents rethink what a lead means and where a lead comes from.
Why?
Well, because I think we did have to shift our focus to online leads in a way we really didn't before in the last 2 years because of the pandemic.
Sure.
We were so shut down in California that so many more of our opportunities came online.
Yes. Because you couldn't do the open houses the way you had done forever and ever.
No door knocking, no events, no belly to belly stuff at all.
Yeah.
So we really are getting them back into what does it mean to prospect in person and what does it mean to, get your business from people that you know and people that we know and just get after it as opposed to wait for it.
But Stephanie, I've only been selling real estate for 2 years. What do you prospect? I didn't get in this business to prospect, right? So how are you, what are the tough conversations you and Jeff are having with individuals that, I heard an interesting stat. 20% of the agents today, right, have never been through the kind of market we're in right now. And most of them got in during the pandemic,
right?
Either right before or during the pandemic. 20% of the agents, they don't know. And probably pretty safe to say, minus the recession that occurred during the pandemic, the last one would have been maybe the micro moment of 2018 when rates went in August of 2018, when rates went 3.9, 4.9.
Yeah.
For like on a Tuesday and everybody went, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, it would have been 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right.
So they've never, I would
really
live 70% have never been through this.
They don't know. And maybe in some ways that's a good thing. Like if we can just get them to be head down, eyes forward, roll up their sleeves and get to work. Maybe it's better that they also don't know in a way, because real estate is real estate. And whether the market, there's a recession or the market is booming, someone's going to be selling their houses, whether they want to or they have to.
Find the market in every market, right?
That's right.
Find the market in every market.
And that's where a team like mine can really dominate in a market like this, because we have all the brand recognition. We have all of the roots planted everywhere. And so all our agents really need to do is lean into what we provide them already and how we're going to help them reconnect to that sort of old-fashioned way to do business. So, for starters, we're really getting everybody back into this mentality around door knocking, calling your sphere, cold calling, circle dialing. We're really re-engaging around all of those things.
What's your average sales price?
Our average sales price is $1.5 million.
So $1.5 million. We want them circle dialing. We want them cold calling. We want them door knocking. That just doesn't, like, for a lot of people, they'll be like, what? Well, but how many transactions did you guys do last year?
We did 304 sales transactions plus about like 40 leases.
And where are you at so far year to date?
172 sales.
Okay.
And just over 300 million in volume.
So already blowing past last year. So let's go back to the tough conversations part. I mean, it's very obvious to me, like you and I, like I say this in a loving way, we're knuckle draggers, man. Like get me into the dirt. I'm going to just do whatever it takes. Like, cause we, experience being punched in the face over and over again in our business gives you wisdom.
Well, I can speak to this from experience with my agents. I spent the first 10 years of my business door knocking. It's really how I became known to people and how I deepened my conversations with people. My farm ends up being like 25,000 homes that we're marketing to. But it started small. And then the last 4 years that I personally would go out and door knock, I had my team door knocking with me. So we were really canvassing the neighborhood, like crazy. Then they door knocked for 5 more years after that. I can't go out anymore because I'll be at one door for an hour.
Steph, come in. Let's have a conversation.
Totally.
How are the kids?
So I really spend my time connecting with our community events now. But we're all going to be getting really back out there with seasoned agents, taking newer agents door knocking. We've really retooled the materials we're sending out so they have a little bit more brand connection to that, and we're giving them more ownership of that door knocking process. But my goal would be that everybody's door knocking for 90 minutes a day religiously, and they're just building that muscle to get back out there. And it's a simple script. Give
it to us. Knock, knock. Hello.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Younger with the Stephanie Younger Group. I'm just coming by with some information. I'm making my usual rounds. I wanted to leave you a notepad and invite you to the 4th of July parade on Monday. And
Love it.
Just thought I'd ask if you have any real estate needs today.
No, I think we're good. I keep hearing though the market's really changing, and like, are things going to be okay in LA?
Well, historically they're always okay in Los Angeles. So I think you're pretty lucky. How long have you lived here?
We've had this place for 12 years now.
12 years. Yeah. Okay. Where'd you live before?
We came from Northern California, so Silicon Valley down here, just job transfer.
Okay. Yeah. And would you ever move back?
We talk about our families there, but I don't know. This is pretty hard. Like the weather here is so good.
I know.
It's so hot up there. Like I can't handle it during the summers.
Well, I live here too, and I can't really imagine where else I would go. So, I'm not really asking if you need to move since I know you love it, but have you heard of anybody in your neighborhood who might be thinking about moving?
Everybody talks all the time, but I don't know anybody like off the top of my head that I could tell you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Well, listen, you have all my information, and I, that I'm in the neighborhood all the time. We'd love to be your resource. Yeah. So, if you ever have any questions or you hear of anybody who needs to buy or sell, I hope you'll reach out and think about us. And, are you coming to the 4th of July parade on Monday?
I'm going to be there.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, will you look for us?
Yeah, of course.
All right, great. Well, it's good to see you.
I feel like you've said that like 11 million times. Did that just come out of her just like bang? Like, if you're listening to the audio, you should definitely watch the video of that, because that was just Like you just popped the tape in and went, okay, door knocking script.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially because I probably didn't think through that before I got here again, and it's like, it was something I did so religiously.
Exactly.
And it's it's the worst and it's the hardest. And, there were days where I was a disaster and days where I was a success. And, my team will, not just my team, but literally people will call me and say, I hear you door knocked for 10 years.
Yeah.
And, how much business did you get off of it? And I'll usually say none.
Yeah.
Because it's not the business I'm looking for at the door. I'm looking for that person who's going to pick my flyer up off their porch or think about it after I leave and call me. I'm not trying to jam my foot in the door at that moment.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wedge it open a little bit.
It's like, it's relationship building.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the people that Andy C., right, from Northern California, like knocking on doors, open house. He's like, if you're just in market and you're answering questions, you're building relationships, all of a sudden you're like, they come in, they're like, he's like, hey, don't you guys own a house like 3 blocks from here, right? I knocked on your door. You guys came by this other open house. And that's what makes people go, oh, they're making me feel special. They remember me. It's that connection.
Exactly.
So let's go back to the tough conversations. I guarantee, not razzing you if you're watching as one of the, Rockstar team mates, I guarantee there's somebody on your team that doesn't want to knock on doors, doesn't want to make phone calls. What is the tough conversation you have with that person to either coerce them, lead them, guide them, or not?
Well, it's funny because, by the time this gets where it needs to go, they're going to hear this conversation. But, we're actually going to have a meeting with especially our newer group of agents next week and lay out that this is what it takes to be a successful agent. Yeah. It takes you being in the office every day at 9:00. It takes you practicing script and dialogue and learning, deal negotiation and deal mastery for an hour. It takes you circle dialing or cold calling or prospecting your sphere for an hour. And it takes you door knocking for 90 minutes. And if you do all that and you're done by 1:00, you can do whatever the heck you want afterward. I don't care.
It's old school. It's control the morning and your afternoon will take care of itself.
And so, the real hard conversation is, this is what it takes to not just succeed in the business, but to be on this team. Yeah. And, we won't have, in a recession, we won't have room on our team for people who aren't actually producing and actually performing and actually pulling their weight. So you have to contribute. You don't necessarily have to sell a house right away or sell a house tomorrow, or we don't really have hardcore standards around this is how many deals you have to do every year. Yeah. We're in a big price point market and you can sell one house and that could make your year. But if you're not contributing to the company pipeline and you're not contributing to the company culture of contribution, then you probably don't belong on the team, regardless of whether you're selling a house or not.
That's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So that's a hard conversation.
That's not a hard. That just feels like. I just believe fundamentally, people around the world, we all want to be led. Yeah. Right. We want someone to say, "Hey, it's okay." We also want someone to say, "You need to start running this play." Yeah. You know what I mean? And everything in between, whether it's a parent, an uncle, a friend, a coach, a teammate, we want to be led. We want to be told what to do. Right. And even if we don't like it, we know, like coming from you, it's the truth. Yeah. Right. You're the CEO. You're in charge. This is the direction we're going.
And I think like the last couple of years have been very hard for everybody, and I think even more so in a city like Los Angeles, we were so strictly closed down. And so I've been trying to really lead with kindness and empathy with my team, and not really driving people. Like this is a time where they needed to go figure it out. Some of them are figuring it out and they're making decisions on their own, which has been helpful. Yep. And I think now we're finally in that place where we have to say, this could be scary for you if you're not doing all of the things. Right. And I'm doing all the things. And I'm going to tee up all the opportunities and all the systems and all the ways to do this. And I'm going to support you. But I'm not going to drag you along anymore. Yeah. I'm here. Wind at your back.
Does this sound familiar, everybody on my team? Like CEOs, right? Hey, I'm leading from the front. Like, let's go. Like, that's what it takes right now. For the person listening, like, I hope you really got that point. Let me ask you just a couple questions. Okay. What do you do to keep your mindset right, or how are you improving your mental toughness? My own? Yeah.
I mean, I was saying to somebody the other day, like, I do realize that I am I'm a nice person and I'm a kind person and I'm a sensitive person. You could easily make me cry today if you really wanted to. But I'm also a pretty tough person. And I don't shy away from hard work. I've worked since I was 13 years old. Yeah. I didn't come from any money to get where I am today. Yeah. So I feel like my toughness has been built over a long period of time. But I'm also, I have built a village around me. I doing this for 20 years, and I had kids and all that stuff. So, I have support. I believe in paying for support. The whole reason I have the team is I didn't want to do this alone, and I didn't want to compromise my family and my personal life in order to have a successful business. So that's really what the genesis of the team was. And then I realized how many people really wanted to be a part of something. I always felt like real estate was sort of a lonely business.
It is.
I don't like being lonely. So so I think I've helped my own mindset by making sure that I have all the right people around me all the time. I have a wonderful husband and partner in life. I have wonderful kids. My business partner and I, we talk very openly, and we really do hold each other accountable, both from the things that we say to people and the things we say to each other. So I'm just out there in the mix every single day. I wish I could say I had a great meditation practice or something, but
see, there's a lot of different ways to create mental toughness, and what you did is you created a culture of it. See, think about it. You have to show up with the right mindset every day when you have 35 people on your team. You can't walk in as a CEO and be like, ugh, I'm having a bad, because we're all getting fired, right? Something's wrong with Steph.
Well, and I in some of my conversations with the more seasoned people, I'm often having to say, how would you feel if I showed up like that every day?
Oh, yeah.
And how would you feel if I just went away for weeks at a time and didn't check in? Yeah. How would you feel if I was just taking all the time and not giving back? They don't want to think about it like that, but I will share as much as I have. I just want people to, when they get the opportunities, take them and do the right thing with them.
Right. Reciprocate through action.
Yes.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
So mental toughness for you is just, you've just created the structure.
Yeah.
You don't really have a choice.
I'm a bit of a grinder,
I know.
And that has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But I believe in my ability to figure things out. Yep. And I believe in myself, even in my moments of fear or weakness.
Yep.
I am someone who's always going to move forward. Yep. That's my mental practice. Yep. Move forward.
And one of the things I respect about you, and we were talking off camera, the every 12 months call from Stephanie Younger, hey, I want to run something past you. You're also the kind of, you're not afraid to reach out and get other perspectives, other points of view, other insights. What's everybody else doing? What's everybody else doing? You would always ask those questions. And that to me is a sign of someone that's not fixed in their mindset, but I want to learn from everybody and then figure out what I'm going to do with this.
One of the things I've always made a priority in my business and in my life is that I don't want to recreate the wheel. I just want to make it better. Yep. So in terms of plays that work, really what we're talking about is revisiting the plays that have worked for us for 20 years and making them better, sharper, and in a greater volume.
Yeah.
If I can have 25 people door knocking for 90 minutes a day, every day, that's there's power in those feet. Right. So I don't want to recreate the wheel. I want to learn from the best, and I want to take it and I want to look at it and I want to put my spin on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is being in your ecosystem is a new experience for me, and I'm so thrilled to be here. And I'm actually grateful that this is the place in my career where I'm entering, because this is where I need it most in my team building skills, my leadership skills, and really watching and learning from people who are doing it better than I am, and then applying in my way.
Yeah, and contributing back to everybody else. And that's the fun of this whole community. It's just everybody's contributing, and
so much.
So let's recap. Here's what I'm hearing. Changing market equals door knocking, equals calling your past clients in sphere, equals circle dialing. It's improving your selling skills and role playing. It's controlling your morning all the way through 1 o'clock and do whatever you want in the afternoon.
Exactly.
And holding people accountable to hey, I do all this for the energy of the group. You got to reciprocate. You got to be a part of it. I loved your thought. Hey, I'm not saying you got to sell a house this week or even this month, but you better do things that support the brand, the culture, and the energy.
Right.
That in and of itself is a powerful leadership quote. And so, all right, as we wrap it up, closing thoughts, direct to camera, anything you want to share with the community out there?
This is just such a great opportunity. And I think that for all real estate agents everywhere on day one of the recession.
Yes.
I think that the important thing is not to be afraid, to lean in, feel the front of your boots like you do when you're skiing, and just, go with the fall line, but work hard and be ready to talk to a lot of people.
Yes. 2x the people. No, triple.
Triple
down. Triple down. That was a moment. I was like, we all doubled down during the pandemic, but we're tripling down during the recession. Stephanie, you're such a rock star. Thank you so much for sharing. Hey, make sure you like, subscribe. If you haven't already done that stuff, ring that notification button. If you're not following Stephanie Younger, make sure you're following her on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all the other social channels. And as always, hey, the market's adjusting. What adjustments are you making? See you guys soon. Where could you go to get tuned up, to get your mindset right, to get an unlimited number of marketing and lead generation strategies to win even more listings? The answer, my friend, is obvious. The Success Summit in Dallas, August 23rd through the 25th. If you want to be surrounded by thousands of like-minded individuals that are not buying into the noise, but instead staying mentally tough and most importantly, earning the money that they desire, then you need to join us. So to make your reservation, just go to tomferry.com/summit. Make sure you put in the promo code SUMMIT15, that's SUMMIT15, to get 15% off your ticket. I can't wait to see you at this year's Success Summit.